Hey there, Knotty Friends! Welcome to another Crochet and Chat with me, Knotty Bear, or Chris if that's more your style. Either way, I'm just thrilled that you're here. If you're new, Crochet and Chat is a series I make here on my little corner of YouTube where, as the name suggests, I work on a crochet project and chat about all things from amigurumi to whatever random thoughts pop into my head. It's all on the table, or on the crochet hook I should say. We keep it chill, cozy, and as comfy as your favorite stitch. I promise those are all the crochet puns I have. For now anyways. I tried to do this all with minimal editing, so yes, there may be a few awkward pauses or noises from my resident house bunny, Fiji, but hey, that's all part of the charm, right? Hopefully. Anyways, grab a warm drink, your current crafting project, and let's dive into this week's ramblings. Well, hello there everyone, and welcome to a new Crochet and Chat video. I thought today we could sit down and have a little chit chat about some 2025 New Year's resolutions, or business goals rather, which saying the year 2025 just seems so weird. It doesn't sound right in my head. Anything after 2019 just feels like a blur. Last year, 2024, was a year of mixed emotions, lots of good things, some not so good things, but I'm looking forward to the year ahead because what else can we do? I think hopefully it's good to have some optimism for the coming year anyways for now. Like I said, 2024, I started this little journey with all of you, so that's been very exciting. And I'm going to talk about those goals, specifically business goals. I'm not going to talk about too much personal things or New Year's resolutions. I don't do too much of that, honestly. I think any time of the year is a good time to start things if you just want to better yourself. I did have a couple little things that I did last year that I actually managed to stick to, but I'll talk about those maybe at the end of the video. For now, I'm going to stick to business goals, things I want to get done for the Knotty Bear business and my little crochet journey with all of you here. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hopefully it's a fun time. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and New Year's, whatever you did. We are not people who stay up till midnight. We're such old men in that way. We go to bed pretty early. For some reason, we just don't see the point of staying up. We celebrate in our own way. And yesterday, we just kind of relaxed and we watched a movie. We watched Meet Me in St. Louis, or St. Louis, however you say it. I've never seen it before. Obviously, it's a classic. I think it came out in the 40s. Judy Garland, beautiful singer, obviously. A lot of people will know her, very famous, and she has a couple good moments in there. I've only ever seen the trolley song or clips of it, and then obviously Have Yourself a Merry Christmas, which you can't beat that, especially when Judy Garland's singing it. And it was a cute movie. It was a lot of fun. Speaking of like looking back on things, it's so interesting to watch those movies that were made. I think it was supposed to represent 1904, which is a very long time ago, and just to see everything, all the costumes and gowns, and like they had one phone, it was on the wall, and like it was for important things only. It was just fun to look back on and watch an old movie like that on New Year's while going into 2025, which just feels like the polar opposite. Everything is so modernized and crazy. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're just going to jump into it. I have 12 goals this year. I've kept them pretty relaxed. I don't want to stress myself out with these. They're more just for fun, things to look forward to. If I don't meet them, it is what it is. Some of them are a little bit more superficial than others. Obviously, there's things like reaching a certain amount of goal on a platform of followers or whatever. Those things, again, are just a little bit more superficial. Some people have tons of followers, but if they're just a number and they don't actually care about supporting you or your art, then it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's better to have 1,000 people following you who actually care about you and support you than to have 10,000 followers who are just bots or random people who might not even know they follow you anymore because you got viral or whatever. So I'm not taking it too seriously, but it is good to have goals, like I said. And then some other things are a little bit more harder to reach. I try to keep it realistic because, like I said, I don't want to stress myself out about this. It's just for fun. And last year I didn't do any business goals because I really hadn't started. I officially started in like July, launching this business and everything. So I didn't have goals, New Year's resolution goals. So this year I think it'd just be fun to go over them and talk about them and see where we get to. So I'm not going to bore you with any more details. Let's jump right into it. I have a list of 1 to 12. I'm going to try and pick this apart. I did post it to my Threads account, I believe, if you want to take a look at it. They're in no particular order, and I'll probably change the order a little bit depending on what they're talking about, because some kind of jump through, but they really should be categorized together. Anyways, I'm not gonna bore you anymore. Let's jump into number one, which is reach 3,000 followers on Instagram. And this one is gonna be a little bit more difficult than I thought. I definitely think I'll get it, don't get me wrong. However, my thoughts on Instagram have changed over the years. It has been in the past my favorite app to use, but recently launching this business has taught me so much more about Instagram, and it has really changed. I had kind of a false pretense, I guess, of going into it because I had during COVID what they call the Plantstagram Instagram account, where when the panorama happened and that fun time and everyone was home, people got really into plants. It was a big boom, myself included, and I had always loved gardening and houseplants. I'd always had houseplants, but I definitely got caught up in the boom and everything. And I still have a ton of houseplants around. I've shown them before. I still have a couple hundred, and I still love them. Don't get me wrong, but it was like a big thing, and everyone was into it. And it was really easy, Instagram specifically, just posting pictures, cute pictures of your plants. It was really easy to grow there. And at some point I had like 4,000 or 5,000 followers, and I wasn't really trying too hard because it was before like the algorithm was like really stressing out, and like reels weren't really a thing yet. They were just becoming a thing, I think, around that time, but they weren't like they are now. And it was just more like casual, I guess, which is why it worked for me, because I just post pictures of my cute plants and people would follow. And that's what I thought it would be this time around. I was definitely wrong. It is changed so much. It is really more of a job if you are taking it seriously, which is fine. You just have to look at it like that. I don't really use Instagram personally just to like look at things anymore. It's more of like for my business and for interacting with all of you. Sorry if you can hear Fiji there clicking on the wall. But yeah, it's more of a business thing for me, and I still really enjoy the idea of Instagram. I like the aesthetics of it and everything, but I do have to focus more on just posting things on a schedule, which I've been doing for the past couple months, and I have noticed a difference. And just really keeping up to date with the latest trends, because unfortunately, like I said, that algorithm, you can't get away from it. It wants different things at different times. It's always evolving, and that's pretty frustrating. But I think you just have to take it with a grain of salt. Look at it as a tool for your business, because if you are running a small business like me, you can't get away from using these social medias. You don't have to use every single one, but whatever one you pick, it's going to have its flaws. And you just have to enjoy it, and which I do. I do enjoy Instagram, like I said. So 3,000, we're currently at 1,500. I started taking it more seriously. I think I started it earlier in 2024. However, I didn't start using it actively until like midway through, maybe during this June. And then it took a little bit for me to actually get serious about it. I didn't start posting on a schedule there until a couple months ago. And like I mentioned before, that has helped a little bit. It definitely helps my reels, which are the videos on Instagram. It helps them reach more people when Instagram can trust that you're going to post on those days. Now, it's been the holidays, so I did take some time off, and today is Thursday, which is the 2nd, and it feels like it should be a Monday because yesterday we had it off and the holidays before that, and now we're back to work. It just feels weird. But anyways, we're back on track, hopefully, for that. So I think another 1,500 is more than doable, hopefully, fingers crossed. But like I said, it's not the most important thing. I'd rather have 100 people follow me on there who love Instagram and actually want to interact and be a part of my community than getting that extra 1,500 followers of just random people who may never interact with my content on there ever again. That said, if you are on Instagram and you enjoy it and you don't follow me, please give me a follow if you want to, if you're enjoying this so far, and help me get to 3,000 by the end of the year. We will see where we get to at that. Obviously, I have a couple different places that I wanted to reach certain subscriber counts on. I'll try not to talk too much about each one because I know it gets kind of boring. I'm just looking to see if there's another Instagram thing. Not really. We can jump to number 10, I guess, which may be Instagram, but it also might be YouTube, which is to make a collab with another crocheter. I think this would be fun, or another amigurumi designer, or whoever, just in general, someone in this space. I think that would be a fun idea. It's a nice way to introduce myself to new people and introduce you all to new people. I have talked to a couple other YouTubers, and we've maybe the potential of doing some kind of collab. I think it could be fun. I just don't know what that would look like. I've seen, is it Skein Spider and Complicated Knots in the past have done them, where they kind of like send each other pieces of an amigurumi design and they have to add to it, and then it ends up with some final like kind of Frankenstein thing. That's kind of a cool idea. I like the idea of that. But who knows? I think it would just be fun in general to start collaborating more with other people, other content creators in the space, and just see what happens. I am doing the thing I always do with these crochet chats where I start the crochet and I forget about it. So we're going to pick that up. I am making a Charmander, which I have one here. He's been in all my videos. I've actually made like 5 of them, but I'm officially making the pattern for it. And because it's kind of just scribbles on my iPad as far as like the pattern notes, I'm actually going to really go through it all and make sure it works up the exact same. Because when I was making those, I wasn't as, there were gifts and stuff and things like that. So I was just kind of like making them as long as they look cute. No one's going to know what the pattern is. And I was just scribbling the notes as I went. So this time I'm going to make one more, and I'm going to focus on making sure the pattern notes are all clean and everything. And then that way all of you people who join my Patreon can make your own cute little Charmander pattern, or Charmander plushie rather. The pattern will be free on my Patreon if you are a paid member. So that's where you can find it. It'll probably be up there next week sometime. Anyways, that is what I'm working on. I got the magic ring part started because this is a chenille yarn. And it can be tricky, although I think I've gotten really good at doing the magic ring now. It wasn't an issue, but I did want to get that done off camera just in case. Anyways, on to the next. So we're going to do 2 and 5. Like I said, this is on my threads if you want to take a look at it, but I'm just going to read them out as they make sense because I kind of just wrote them down randomly as I was thinking about them. So number 2 is sell 100 patterns on my website, which is the Knotty Bear website, which is my own thing. It has nothing to do with the Etsy or Ravelry or wherever I sell my patterns. This is just the website, which is a new addition to the Knotty Bear universe, if you will. And, oh, I did that the wrong way. And yeah, I just want to continue building that because Etsy worries me. It's turning into really a Temu, which is very strange. Sales on there have not been great. Sales in the space in general have not been great, to be honest. I've been talking to some other designers and they're just down, which I think makes sense because there was such a boom, similar to what I think happened with the Plantstagram and the plant boom. Not quite to that extent happened with crochet and amigurumi. It's still definitely happening. There are tons of crocheters. I think that there'll be lifelong crocheters. It's not like people got into it and then it's going to just die completely. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think a lot of people got into it. There's more people selling designs and things. But unlike plants and stuff, they're not as finicky, and patterns can be sold at any time. It's digital. They can be sold all around the world. So things like that are definitely a bonus. However, like I said, I think that pattern sales are just going to go down a little bit naturally, which is fine. I think things I've learned this year about what I thought would be like a revenue source or a good revenue source has changed so much, which is just so interesting. Going into it, I thought pattern sales would be kind of like a bigger revenue source because as a small business like this, you can't just focus on one thing. It can't be like, it's not a normal job where you're just going to get a paycheck from one place that pays for everything. It's diversifying as much as possible, which is what I've tried to do. And I thought patterns would just be a bigger chunk of that. And although they've done pretty well, they're not what I think going forward I'm going to be focusing on as much. I'm definitely going to put them out there and I'll talk about that more in a minute. That's another goal I have. However, I think I'm doing that more just because I love it. And for all of you who love it as well and want to support me, it's just a fun way to release my creativity and everything. But I don't think it's going to be the primary focus of like, where I'm making my money and stuff, which is, again, it is what it is. I'm just learning from everything. So to make 100 pattern sales going back to my website is tricky because unlike Etsy that has buyers on it on the platform and they can search for things they're already shopping and they can find your things on there, which is a whole separate video about talking about the weird things on Etsy. I'm just going to make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're good. Unlike Etsy that has that already built in, my website is 100% driven by me, and it's a little bit harder to get people to buy things on there. That's why I've kept it to 100 patterns, because that is going to be, based on what I've sold on there so far, it's going to be a little bit tricky. But again, it's new. When you start a website, it takes a while for it to get into the ecosystem of the internet and everything. I have to keep adding to it, adding blogs and things and talking about it, obviously. But I think it's an achievable goal still. I just have to really make sure I'm focusing on driving people there, because like I said, no one else is going to drive sales to your website. You have to do that 100% yourself, unlike Etsy, which is goal number, where are we? Number 5, which is to sell 200 patterns on Etsy. I think this is also very achievable as long as Etsy doesn't completely shut down my crochet patterns like they did with some of my merch, specifically the stickers, which have gone up a little bit, which I'm not too mad at, because Canada Post, if you live in Canada, was on strike for a bit there, and it made shipping a little bit difficult, and the stickers are the only thing I ship. And so having a little bit of a break actually wasn't the worst thing, but I actually did sell a couple recently, so thank you if you bought some stickers. Yeah, so anyways, what was I saying? Going back, 200 pattern sales on Etsy. I think this is doable. Hopefully, again, with the dwindling pattern sales, I really have to focus on advertising and making new and exciting patterns for all of you. I do think it's achievable. I did about half this so far, and I wasn't even selling on there for most of the year, so I think it's achievable, hopefully, fingers crossed. Again, it's not so much that I need to have this, or I'm asking for people to go buy my patterns just because they feel bad for me. It's just good to have some goals to reach towards and see where we get to. Obviously, I would like to sell more than this. However, again, I don't know if that would be setting myself up for failure. I don't want to put these numbers too high and then just be like, well, I totally miscalculated that. We'll see where we get to. I'm going to talk more about some other revenue sources in a minute here that I'm going to be focusing more on because they just seem to be doing better. But that's where we're at for pattern sales. I think next we will talk about some YouTube stuff. So I want to post a video every single week, which turns out to be 52 videos for the year. I think this is a pretty achievable goal. I would have gotten it this year if I had started on YouTube at the beginning of the year, obviously. I think I've been on here for like maybe 4 months now, which has flown by. It's so crazy. And I have managed to post a video every single week. So that's been exciting. YouTube's been interesting lately. I obviously don't have the following of some people. I have a pretty good following, thanks to all of you. But this time of year, the holidays, things slow down a bit. And I've noticed that in my numbers. And I'm not letting that get me down, because I know that I'm a newbie on here. I'm still figuring things out. Even my setup right now, I know it's not ideal. Thank you for putting up with it. I only have the one camera, which is on my phone. And I know you all can't necessarily see what I'm doing at all times. I try and hold this in a place where I'm in frame and you can actually see what I'm working on, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. I would love to buy a new camera and just have a camera that I can use for vlogging and things, because then all the files would be separate. It wouldn't be mixed in with all my personal stuff and photos on my apps. And that would just be ideal. But I don't want to invest more than what I'm getting out of this, if that makes sense. I want to be smart about it. I did just get my first YouTube paycheck of a couple $100, which was very exciting. So thank you all for watching and for being here. That was really cute. I mean, it's nice to be paid, even if it is a little bit, not that much. For the work you're putting in, it's the only place I actually get paid for making videos. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. All right, so as if my phone heard me, it ran out of storage and stopped filming, which is so annoying, but thankfully I could see it in the mirror over there, the little notification pop up, and I only missed like 15 seconds or something, so not the end of the world here. We're back on track now, but like I said, upgrading my system would definitely be great, because things like that would not happen. My poor iPhone is just loaded with videos and clips from different things, and it's a lot, so I definitely have to upgrade at some point. But anyways, 52 videos for the year. Keep me accountable. I'm definitely going to focus more on doing some pre-made videos that I have in the backlog, because not every week is a good week to film, and it's nice to have those. I did a couple last year, and it was just nice to have them there. And that way, if I didn't have anything posted or planned, I could just post those. And yeah, I think that's just a smart way to go about it. So that's what we'll be doing. Keeping in the thread of YouTube, my other goal for YouTube is to reach 5,000 subscribers, which I think is also very achievable. That's the theme here. We're already at 36,000, or no, 30. Imagine if we had 36,000, that would be a whole different conversation. 3,600 rather, calm down. And most of those came pretty quickly. If you've been here since the beginning, you already know. I made my first video, very casual, very demure, and just kind of posted it being like, I'll get a couple views or whatever. And it's still, I think, my most viewed video, or one of them. And most of my followers came from that video, about 2,000 to 3,000 of them. If you're still here, definitely let me know in the comments below. Say hi if you're an OG from the original video. And that was super cool. You never know when a video is going to get popular. Lately, like I was saying, YouTube has slowed down with the holidays and everything. It's been a little bit harder to get that organic reach. However, I'm going to keep going away here, crocheting away, or not going away, rather. That would be a bad thing. You know what I mean. I'm going to keep plugging away is what I meant. And let me just count here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And we'll see whatever. You never know when something's going to hit. So I'm excited to see. I think 1,500 or about 1,400 subscribers is doable throughout the year. It might all come from one video. It might be a slow trickle. We will see. I wanted to keep it realistic. And like I said, it's just a number. It's just for fun. We'll see where we get to. With that said, if you don't follow me and you're liking the video, please consider subscribing. It really does help me grow the channel. Lets YouTube know that this thing I'm doing is working and that you're enjoying it. Also, give me a like if you wouldn't mind. It also does help as well. Helps show the video to other people. I hate saying that every time because I feel like I just want people to enjoy being here. I don't want to push things down your throat. However, I do notice when I say things like that, like the video, subscribe, it does help. So thank you so much anyways. So 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think it's going to be a good year. I have lots of plans for things I want to get done, possibly like collab, like I said. I've broken things down. I can't remember if I talked about this before or after it got cut out. I might have to do some editing here. But like I said, I've broken things down into a vlog, which is like a monthly thing now, or a bi-monthly thing. We'll see how it goes. And then it'll be things like amigurumi and then the crochet chats and whatever else I decide to get in there. Anyways, that's enough about YouTube. Let's move on to other things. What do we got here? Make my largest amigurumi yet. I think this is a fun one. I threw it in there just to be a little bit quirky. I see people make these giant amigurumi and they're so cute. And I want to do one as well. I have no idea what it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to do a character that's already out there. The biggest one I've done currently is in frame. It is the Snorlax over there. It's about maybe 2.5 feet. And I want to do one much bigger than that. I just don't know if I want it to be my own design or if I should do a design of a character that's already out there. If you have any ideas, be sure to let me know. I'd love to hear them. But I just wanted to make some kind of big, cute thing. Pokemon would obviously be the more obvious choice, but I feel like that's kind of been done with a lot of them. So many people have made super jumbo Pokemon. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on that. It's just something big and cute. Maybe something to celebrate something coming out in 2025 would be cool. I was trying to think of big games releasing. I had to look more into it. I didn't see anything that really stood out in my mind. But we'll see. I think it's just a fun thing to do this year. I definitely want to get it done. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I'm going to have to get started on it probably sooner than later and make it maybe like a whole year thing. Kind of like a temperature blanket. Speaking of, if you are following and wondering what is happening with my temperature blanket, I guess I failed keeping it going. I kind of talked about it, I think in October or November, about how it was just getting too long, especially with the width. It was looking a little funny, and I didn't want to just make this long. It would look even skinnier than it is. I think it's a good width, but if I kept going, it would just look a little strange. So I stopped and I said I would start doing a border, but really I just stopped. And it's a blanket. We do use it, even though not all the ends are weaved in. It is a warm blanket. I do enjoy it and I will finish it off, but I don't think it's going to be the full temperature blanket technically. I think we made it to like July, August, maybe August, September. And then that's where I kind of like called it quits because it was just looking funny. And once I did that, it was all over. And it is where it is. It is what it is. I won't be doing another temperature blanket. It was kind of fun. I didn't hate it, but it was maybe just not for me. But doing like a large amigurumi over the year without too much pressure could be a fun alternative maybe. So we will see. Moving on to the next one here. What do we got? I want to release some new merch. I'm actually wearing some of my merch right now. This is the Take Time and Unwind. You're doing just fine. This has been my most popular design this year, I think, besides maybe Proud Yarn Head, which I have a sticker here somewhere. Between the two of these were my most popular. And I want to do some more, not of the yarn characters. I think they'll be their own thing. I have some plans to make some separate designs, and I'm going to be doing stickers and totes and sweaters and stuff as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I'll probably do a set of 4 or 5. I like doing the sets of 4 like I did for the yarn characters, so I'll probably do 4 of something completely new, along with a couple other things. I'm sure I'm really enjoying bringing my design past into this somehow, and I don't think there's as many people designing cute crochet stuff as there are crocheters, so it's a good kind of market to get into, and still kind of keep things in brand, if you will. So I want to do some more of that and have some more fun just designing cute things for all of you, things that you'll enjoy. People like the stickers. I had trouble getting them back up again. They did really well when I launched them, and then I went away on vacation and I closed the shop, and that was kind of the end of Etsy showing them for a whole bunch of reasons I won't get into. I'm sure some of you watched that video already where I talked about it, but I would like to start that back up again and do some more fun, cute designs for you. I didn't put a specific number there just because, like I said, I want to keep it easy, and just whatever I get done, I get done. So that's one of my 2025 goals for the year. Come out some more cute crochet designs and merch. What else we got here? I have released 10 new patterns, which I think, again, is going to be pretty achievable this year. I think we did about that, maybe a little bit more even. And this year I have plans to do a bunch that I want to get done. However, like I said before, pattern sales have not been like as big as I thought they would be. That could change, obviously. And I definitely want to still keep designing amigurumi. I love it. It's still what I love about this whole journey is designing amigurumi. I just obviously a little bit obsessed with it, and a lot of you love it too. But again, I have to kind of be reasonable with it and know that if it's not going to be a big revenue source, then I have to kind of treat it as such. So I think 10 over the whole year is a good number. Like I said, have a bunch of plans. This is the year of the snake. I missed out on 2024 being the year of the dragon, which is so much cooler than the year of the snake. I was thinking of coming out with a design this month with a snake design, but nothing really stuck out to me. I saw a lot of people come out with designs, and there's only so much you can do with a noodle. With the snake design. You have to kind of get inventive with the color and stuff. Another interruption, someone just called me, but like I was saying, I don't want to come out with a design of a snake just because it's the year of the snake and not because I actually want to. But yes, 10 designs, I think that is pretty achievable, hopefully. I'm excited to see what they are. I loved all the ones I did last year. They all make me super happy. And I think going forward, we're only going to do even better. So that will be what it'll be. Sometimes speaking is hard. Like I said, I've been on vacation mode for a little while now. So speaking to a camera for this long or talking without stumbling is a bit of a challenge. This morning, I poured milk on my plate instead of in my coffee. If that lets you know where my brain is at right now. Okay, so moving on to the next one. What do we got? 50 paid patrons. So speaking of things that I wasn't expecting to do well, Patreon has been so good to me. If you're a part of the Patreon, thank you so much. Free member or paid, I really appreciate you being there, especially my paid members who are literally supporting me financially. And it's just been such a great way to connect with all of you and have like a little community that feels like our own spot on the internet. And like I said, I wasn't expecting it, or really wasn't even thinking of Patreon in the beginning as a revenue source. However, now I definitely do. And I want to grow that with 50 patrons. We hover between 10 and 15 right now, which I think is pretty good as someone who just started. And I post all my free patterns there. For the characters that are not mine, I won't get too much into that, but currently what I'm working on, there is a pattern library of all those different things that I'm constantly updating. So if you're ever wondering where you can get the pattern for the cute things that I'm working on that are not the Naughty Bear designs, that is where you can get them if you are a paid member in the tiers. I will leave a link description below. I'll put some things here if you want to take a look at them and see what each one is, but you can get discounts on the shop, you get behind the scenes things, you get a little shout out in the videos, all that fun stuff, and you get to support me, an artist and a small business, which is hopefully never a bad thing. It keeps me doing what I'm doing, and I'm forever grateful to my patrons, so thank you so much. So I want to get 50 paid Patreons. Again, this is just for fun. It's just a number. It would be nice to get to that point, but if we don't, it's fine. I think we have 30 to 40, including the free members, which is obviously a little bit different than paid members, but it's still just as exciting. And I would like to see that just grow, and I want to put more patterns and more things. So if you have any ideas for things that you want to see on a Patreon that I can help put up there, if it's tutorials maybe, or certain patterns that you'd like to see, I'm always open to that kind of stuff. Again, I'm here to build a community for all of you. I want to enjoy it just as much as I do, and I want you to feel like you're getting a value out of what you're paying for. But thank you all so much for being on my Patreon. I won't go on any more about that. That's enough for Patreon for now. Moving on to another one. We should have a couple left. Oh, I wanted to talk about the digital amigurumi journal. Some of you will remember this year I released a digital amigurumi journal, which was such a cool experience for me. It was not something I was planning on doing before, and it kind of just came to my mind one day, and it literally I had it designed and done within a week. I am a graphic designer, so it used my experience in graphic design, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll talk about it a little bit now. But basically I designed a little journal that you can put on your iPad using a GoodNotes app. It does work on other apps, but I made it with the GoodNotes app, but you can use it in a couple of different places. I just don't want to endorse that too much because I don't know how it's going to work on there. It's a little bit different sometimes. But if you download GoodNotes for free and you have an iPad, you can download this journal, and it has a bunch of different things. It's for people to take notes as they're making their amigurumi designs. I use it and I love it. It also has a bunch of preset sticker designs which you can use to build an amigurumi. So I'll try and post a little video of it here somewhere if you haven't seen it. But that was a surprise hit, and it still sells, and I'm really proud of it. And I kind of love that, and I want to go more in that direction in the future. I want to do a version 2, which is the goal. So it's update the digital journal to a version 2. In this version, I want to add more stickers, more character designs, more assets. Also, there's a bunch of cute covers so you can personalize it. I want to make more of those, and just generally take the feedback, which has been really good, but there hasn't been too much because I think people are pretty happy with it. All the feedback I got was this is great and I love it. And I've reached out to some people and they're like, it's exactly what I wanted. So while that is very good, it doesn't give me much to work off of, but I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do. So that's what we're going to do. If you bought it though and you use it and you have used it, let me know in the comments below. If you have any changes to it or any questions, I'm happy to answer. But thank you if you bought it. It was, like I said, a really cool thing that I was not planning on ever making when I started this, and it just kind of came to me one day. And I think it's such a cute little product, and it's not even that expensive, honestly. I think I have it up there for $5. And if you're an amigurumi designer, definitely go check it out. I will leave a link to that in the description below. But yes, version 2 for 2025 is coming at some point. I don't know yet when, but hopefully sooner rather than later. Yeah, and then moving on, I think we have a couple more. Just looking through, so I want to get to 2,000 followers, I believe they're called, on Threads. If you don't use Threads, it's basically Instagram's answer to Twitter, which is now X. And when it first came out, I didn't show too much interest in it. However, this year I did kind of jump on there because I heard some people saying it was good. And honestly, I've been really enjoying it. It's kind of like a much more relaxed, casual experience. I don't take it too seriously. I just post probably more than anywhere else, just more of me. than the business side of me. So it's not just crochet stuff, it's kind of just anything I'm thinking of at the moment. That's kind of what I love about it, is I can just like write something and post it right away, and there's not a lot of work put into it. It doesn't mean it's not like how do I want to say that? I don't want to make it sound like I'm just posting nonsense. I'm still thinking about what I'm posting, but it's not as much as like filming a video, editing, and doing all that. And yeah, I have fun with it. So I want to reach 2,000 on there. A couple weeks ago, we were only at 800. We're at about 1,200 now. There was a bit of a jump over the holidays, so I think 2,000 is more than achievable rather. I'm excited to grow on there. It's not like I don't think there's a ton of people finding me on there and then following me other places. I think they just follow me because they enjoy when I'm posting on there. I could be wrong. Let me know if you followed me on there and you found my YouTube after. I would love to know that. Instagram obviously pushes Threads as well, so I know a lot of people that follow me on Instagram end up following me on Threads. But anyways, it's just a fun place to grow, and I really like the casualness of it all. There is some downsides, obviously. It's much easier to copy a thread post than any other post because it's just text. You can literally just copy and paste it. So you get a lot of like the same people saying the same thing sometimes, which can be annoying. But when you sift through all that and you find people that you like to follow, it can actually be very enjoyable. Okay, and then I think is that it, or is there any more? Collab, release new merch, paid pat. I think we talked about it all, honestly. I think those are all my goals for 2025. Obviously, there are a couple little things that'll get added through the year, I think, but that's everything I thought of for now. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think I'm going to get them all done? Some of them done? Which ones do you think are a little bit too crazy? Do you agree with any of these? I think it's going to be a good year. I think this is a nice little thing to look forward to. I have some personal ones with as far as like financial goals and things, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm not quite at the point of like discussing. I've been watching way too much Wicked. I'm making up words now. Discussing financial stuff like I know a lot of other content creators are comfortable doing, and maybe I'll get there one day. But anyways, for now, I'm going to keep that private. I did say at the beginning of this video I would talk a little bit about my personal New Year's resolutions, not that I have that many, and the ones I did last year. So if you're interested in that, stick around. I'm going to talk about it now. If not, thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. But yes, personal goals. Last year, I told myself I wanted to start working out, and I actually started working out before the new year of 2024, a little bit casually, kind of just like getting myself into it. And I know that's kind of like a cliche to like work out on New Year's, but I actually successfully did it the whole year. I try to do it every single of the weekdays. Obviously, I don't hit it every single day, but for the most part, I did it all year long, and I'm very proud of that. It also came with a little bit of like strength building and some weight loss, which is good. I'm not super into like putting numbers on weight loss and being like, this is super important. I think as long as you're healthy and happy, that's all that matters. However, in the importance of health and things, sometimes that comes with weight loss. So I did lose a little bit of weight, but more importantly, I kind of integrated working out into my routine, which I think is the most important. I feel stronger than before, stronger than yesterday or whatever. And that's all good. So that's what I want to carry forward into the new year. I want to keep working out, keep building up my strength, and I have a little bit of weight that I want to lose still. I'm going to keep that to myself because it's not the most important thing. Again, like I said, it's just about being healthy and everything, and I think that's what I want to carry on into the next year. Speaking of other things that I started, some of you may or may not know, I've been learning Italian for almost 4 years now, which is kind of wild to say. When we started it, it was because my husband Dante, who's obviously Dante, has Italian heritage, and his sister, we were at the cottage and we were kind of just joking around about learning Italian and maybe doing it on Duolingo or whatever. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we all kind of like tried it, and it just really stuck with me for some reason, even though I'm not Italian at all. They don't speak Italian, obviously. Their mother was born in Rome. She's no longer with us, unfortunately. However, they wanted to learn, and they kind of fell off. Dante is back on, which I'll talk about in a second. But over the past 4 years, I've gotten pretty good. I can speak Italian pretty well. I can definitely understand it all. I love the culture of Italy. I love watching all the videos online. There's so many people that I've met through social media and that I watch now every single day that I never would have before, obviously, because I didn't understand the language. And it's just, sorry, it's just really cool to see. I need a drink of water. Excuse me. Okay. It's just really opened my eyes to a whole different world. It's been really cool. And this year, I just want to keep growing with that. I want to speak more. I obviously don't get to speak it very much. However, like I was saying, Dante is back on. It's his New Year's resolution, and I'm really pushing for him. We also have a friend who's been learning for a little bit. So I think together, we'll all push each other a little bit harder. And like I said, I've gotten pretty good at it. I would love to take like some kind of accredited test. When I was reading how you do that, it looks like you might have to go to Italy, which is never a bad thing. We went there almost 2 years ago now, which I can't believe it's been 2 years. And I got to speak and talk to people. And that was kind of my end of Duolingo, because if you've ever been on Duolingo, it's not the best for actually learning a language. It's a great vocabulary builder. And for me, it was like, I love games. So it turned learning into a game, which really worked for my brain. But it wasn't until I started learning on YouTube and watching YouTubers and then reading and things like that, that it really evolved into actually understanding what people are saying and like forming full sentences. Anyways, I'm rambling. I want to continue with that journey. I want to speak more in Italian. So if any of my followers are from Italy or know Italian, let me know. Maybe we could have a conversation or something. So I want to keep going with that. And then for everything else, I don't really have too much else that I want to set goal-wise for myself. Like I said, I'm not huge into it, so I'm just vibing, and I want to have fun and just be a good person and continue on with that. So I think those are pretty much all my personal goals for the year. Let me know what yours are. Are you learning any fun languages, or do you want to learn anything new? Maybe it's crochet. Definitely let me know in the comments below. But this has been a fun little chat with all of you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, which is probably going to be some kind of amigurumi make video. Be sure to check out for this little Charmander on my Patreon. Like I said, if you want to join, I'll leave the link in the description. It really helps me grow. But yeah, that's it for this one. I will catch you in the next one and see you later. Happy 2025, everyone. Bye.